Hi everyone, I have one more fall card to do, and this is just because I had already had it started and didn't get to finish it until today. And then I'm going to move into my Christmas cards. And this one, I don't know, it's probably close to one of my favorites. I finally got to play with my Gather Together paper and so on. I did some embossing. And I used rose gold, and it was a little bit of a learning curve with embossing on vellum. You can see where, I actually let the heat gun run for a little bit while I was finishing up with the embossing powder, so it was really hot when I did it. But you can see where there's a couple that they're just not as crisp. Like this one's a good one. Over this side of this one's good, and then that got a little blurred out where like it maybe boiled it a little bit. I don't think it takes away too much. I mean, you can still tell what the what it is. And then I embossed a pumpkin and my sentiment, and I embossed the inside. And the embossing powder that I used is it's rose gold from, is it Hero Arts? No, it's Ranger rose gold. And I do have most of my elements ready to go for my second card, just for time's sake, to show you how I did it a little bit quicker. But I do still have some embossing to do on my vellum. My leaves, I die cut from it's the set that goes with the Gather Together Gathered Leaves dies. And I just used the maple leaf and the bigger 3-pointed one. And I usually have been spritzing them with water before I die cut them. And I didn't because it was pattern paper that I was die cutting this time, and I wasn't sure how it's going to turn out. But anyway, you can see a little bit. I don't know if you guys can on camera, the texture in it. But it didn't show up too much. I think misting them helps. But like I said, I wasn't sure, being on pattern paper, how well that would work out. And then I saved one. I'm sure you've seen this before. But with all the leaves, I just laid them in my palm. And just took my finger. I cupped my palm a little bit. And took my finger and just kind of did this to make it, a little dimensional. I don't know what I'm trying to say. And then I have 3 flags that I cut. The first one, I think this is an inch. No, it's 3/4 of an inch. And then it's 3 inches long, 3 1/4 inches long. I trimmed it down. I had it probably at like 4 inches, and I didn't like the way it was coming out when I laid it out. Like I wanted it, you can see on this one, I wanted it to be longer, but it was over here to the edge of the vellum. So I just took a chunk off of it. And also my larger flag, this one, was at 1.5 inches, and I took 1/8 inch off of each side, so it's now 1.25 inches, yeah, in the trimmer. And then this, I didn't have to do anything with it, and it is 1 inch, because I already had it the size that I wanted to layer over top of this. And that'd be cute too. You could, I might do that on this one. I don't know, maybe I want the sentiment. No, I like the sentiment crooked. Okay, I don't know. New ideas. My background paper is just 1/4 inch shy all the way around, so it's 5 1/4 by 4. My vellum is another 1/4 inch smaller than that, so it's 3 3/4 by 5. And I figured that would just get a nice, where you could still, see the original paper underneath. So, like I said, I die cut everything. I already did my sentiment. This time, I did the full stamp for my pumpkins. And the sentiment I used is Season of Thanks. And both of these did come from the Gather Together stamp set. And the first time on this sentiment, I only inked up this little pumpkin with the Versamark, and any extra I just wiped off with a brush. And what else did I want to say? I don't remember. But I'll go ahead and get started. And I think I'm going to go ahead, I'll glue this first, and then I'm going to go ahead and finish the embossing. And then all we have to do is assemble it. Okay. You could even change, now I'm thinking, well, if I change the orientation of this card, I probably need some longer little flags, but it would probably be really pretty like that too. So let's get this embossing out of the way. My Happy Thanksgiving sentiment on the inside came from this stampsoflife.com. I just used this one. Let me move my leaves so I don't blow those away. I've been using 2 scraps for my embossing. And let's see, I am just going to use this piece again, the weed or grass or whatever you want to call it. And I only did a few. I figured less is more with this. And I'm going to try to make it so that a little bit more of them shows also. Because a couple of mine from before were hidden. And I'm not even going to worry about putting anything in the middle because I know I'm going to cover it. So I'll close up my Versamark and get out my powder. I hope I didn't just smear that. No, I think I missed it. Boy, that would be my luck. Stick my finger right in it. I was going to, or at least another idea too, would be to use the leaves for this, but I thought the wheat was just a little something different. And I don't know why, but see here, this corner is starting to curl. I guess it's just, it happens when I put the Versamark on the vellum. It doesn't have to have any powder or anything on it. It just starts to do that. But it, I don't know, from heat embossing it too, my brush is broken. I need to put some glue in there. But, I don't know. I'm just trying to get a little bit of the extra off. I'm not going to be too precise with it. And this is also why I do most of this ahead, because I'm not that fast at it. It seems like other videos that I watch, I guess, where people are more experienced in the video making world, that it's just like quick wham bam video and they've got like 3 cards made. And I'm like, wow, how can I get to that point? But you know, if I have everything done, then you're pretty much just watching me put a card together. So, you know, what fun is that? So I've just turned my heat tool on. Okay. And it's warm-ish. Yeah, that's definitely the trick, is not holding it on there too long if you want to keep your detail. Or maybe I need to just have it a little further away. Owie. Definitely hot. Alright, and then just this last little bit on this one, but these definitely turned out better. Just from being a little bit more careful with how long I hold it on there. Like, you know, just short little bursts. But, yeah, they look a lot better. So I guess practice makes perfect. So now I can put my layers together. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 leaves. And I used glue dots, other than my ATG for this first layer and the one in see. I don't know, that would be kind of different to use the back side, but we'll not do that today. And of course, I just hid my glue dots with my embossing. And later I'll come back once I have my leaves down and add more underneath of those too. And I guess I could put 1 or 2 where I know my, you know, I know it's going to be hidden. But this is all I did on my original card, and I kind of like it since I have all the texture and dimension with the leaves. I really didn't mind my vellum being dimensional either. And just lay this down. I really like the touch that the vellum gives to the card. And at first I was kind of like, maybe that's a little bit too much vellum. Like maybe I should just do, and this could even be another idea, just do like some embossed vellum leaves in the sentiment instead of the whole vellum layer. And these glue dots, since my sentiment isn't as thick, I'm just gonna fold some in half. Okay. And this, I just line all the way up with this back edge of this one. And then my flag, the tails line up, which I checked about 1,000 times while cutting this. And then I put this one down first, and I put it maybe like 1/3 up from the bottom. I mean, I had test fit everything on the first card. Just trying to make sure it's a little straight. And then I'm going to pop up my sentiment. I just have a little, like a 3-drawer container underneath my table that I have like all my glues and ribbons and just some other random stuff. Like I usually keep my heat tool in there. This too I line up and I just bring it up some. Are we still straight? Yeah. Okay. And then I just go in and layer my leaves, and that's it, you guys. This one even, it looks a little bit more elegant to me, I think, just because of the embossing, which is one of my favorite, you know, reasons for embossing. But I mean, other than that, you know, of course the longest part was the die cutting, and I did all mine for 2 cards. And, you know, once I'm happy with the way that it looks, on the first card, I didn't even move them. I just took my scissors, put a glue dot on there, and just kind of lifted it. I don't know why I do that, but I seem to do it quite a lot. I've noticed in playing my videos back. And then once I get them initially stuck down, I go back where I can pick up the card and look and stick in some extra ones. Keep the tails and stuff from moving. And that is it. So now I'm going to go back through, like I said, and you know, on the edges where my vellum will lift up, I'll stick in another glue dot or 2 just to help secure it a little bit better. And then we're ready for a note in an envelope. But I hope everybody had a nice Thanksgiving. Ours is pretty quiet. I don't normally have to cook or do anything. I always go up to my dad's, and we have our small little family get together. So it's kind of nice and quiet and relaxing. But other than that, I hope you all had a nice Thanksgiving. And I hope this inspires you. I think these turned out wonderfully. I love that everything just went together. And I really love it. So, and I hope you all enjoyed watching. And thank you again. I hope you all have a great day.